What's up, you guys? It's Living an OK Life. Welcome to our channel, and we're here to bring you Oklahoma.
Today we are talking about 5 things you should know before moving to Oklahoma.
If you enjoy this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit that post notification bell so you'll be notified each time we release a video.
So without further ado, let's get straight into the video.
So getting around Oklahoma City, you will need a car. Oklahoma City is definitely a drivable city. It is by no means a walking city. Our walking score is about 33 compared to New York City that has a walking score of about 88. So definitely if you come to Oklahoma, you're gonna need a car. Now, if you don't want to get a car, you always have options. So if you just follow me, right now we're downtown. We are near the bus station. The bus rides, they cost about $1.75 per ride each way, but you can also buy a pass. That'll make it a little bit cheaper each month. So during the weekday, they run about every 30 minutes, and then during the weekend, they're gonna run about every 60 minutes. So just make sure you show up about 5 minutes early to whichever bus stop that you want to go to, and they have plenty of bus stops around town, so it'll take you pretty much anywhere in the city. And then this is just the main one downtown that you will go to. If you don't want to buy a car, here's one of your options. So the next option you have available to take if you're living downtown is we have the new trolley cars. They're brand new. We've only had them for about a year now, and they're really fun to take. We have a Bricktown loop, and we also have a downtown loop. So if you're out late at night, this is one of your options you can do. Now we're gonna go ahead and try and buy some tickets, and we're gonna get on it and check it out.
All right, make sure you buy me a ticket too. I ain't trying to walk.
So we got our tickets. Now, if you take a look over here, they have these screens so you can see how far away the trolley is. So the downtown loop is about 4 minutes away. And then the Bricktown loop is gonna be about 10 minutes away. And then these are the times that like the next one is coming. So if you go on the back side, it'll tell you exactly what the downtown loop is, what times they have, and the Bricktown loop and what times they have. So the Bricktown loop, Bricktown is really popping at night, and so of course it's gonna run till about 2 a.m. on the weekends. And then the downtown loop, it's not as popping, but at least it's good, like if you're gonna live in the downtown area, to have a way to get back home if you're out late. Or if you work early, those are perfect times so you can get around downtown without having to have your car. Now these are just where the spots are gonna go. So if you just want to check out the map and see where you wanna go, these are the 3 different loops that they run. So the blue one, that's gonna be the Bricktown. And then this is obviously one of the downtown midtown. This one's gonna take you like literally all over to each district that we have. And then this one's mainly like the Bricktown area. So we're on here. I don't know who to give my tickets to.
I think they just want to make sure if they do come around and ask the tickets, they want to make sure you have them.
Yeah. So this is just the middle of it. They also have seating in the back. And then these are like seatings. If you have a wheelchair or something, you can go ahead and there you can pull the seat down. But this is what it looks like on the inside. It's really nice. Like I said before, the trolley's only been open for about a year. So they're really nice, and they're warm on the inside. So on a cold day, it's great to get around instead of walk. So whenever you're ready to get off the trolley, you just have to make sure you press one of these little buttons that say stop. And they're on each rail. And so we'll just press stop for the next one because we want to get back off where we got back on at.
Arriving ballpark stop. Ballpark stop. Take all personal belongings.
So if you're not in the downtown or Bricktown area, then of course you can't take the trolley. So we always have options of Uber and Lyft available that'll take you into like Moore and Norman and Edmond, Yukon, places like those.
All right, so next we have Oklahoma weather. What are you going to expect in all of the seasons in Oklahoma? And we're going to start out first with spring. Now during our springtime, that's when we have most of our tornadoes. That's what we consider tornado season. Oklahoma is ranked number 4 on the list with an average of around 66 tornadoes a year. Is that about right?
Yes.
Yeah, about 66, so it's not too bad. We have certain areas that get hit more than others, but for the most part, if you look at myself. I've lived in Oklahoma my entire life, and I've never seen a tornado living here. And now let's go straight with those.
I ain't never seen a tornado living here either.
Is it really that funny? So, yeah, I've never seen a tornado. Oh, man. All right, so now we'll go into our summertime. Summertime is pretty chill, but it does tend to heat up a little bit, upwards to about 100, 102, but for the most part around 90. I would know because I work outside, so.
So fall is really gorgeous around here. The weather is like A1. You can get around like between 60 and 80 degrees, and it's just like a real chill fall, and everything around here smells like pumpkin, tastes like pumpkin. It's so good.
Talking about cupcakes.
And then winter, it gets pretty cold. We get a lot of ice storms rather than snow. This past year we did get a pretty good snowstorm though, but normally whenever we do get bad weather, it's gonna be ice. Now, as far as dressing for the weather, you're gonna need to dress in layers and then shed throughout the day, because you can wake up, it's gonna be about 30 degrees with fog, and then by the time you go to lunch, it's gonna be 60 degrees, and then by the time 5 o'clock comes, it's gonna be about 40 degrees, and then when you go to sleep and wake up the next morning, you're gonna have ice on the ground. So the weather is kind of bipolar, and you should just be prepared for that, because we do get all 4 seasons in a day sometimes, so
literally.
Just be prepared for that. So that brings us to our third thing that you should know if you plan on moving here. So we do have tornado sirens around the city. We have 182 of them, and they go off every single Saturday at 12 o'clock noon, unless there's inclement weather. So these tornado sirens are basically to warn you whenever there is a tornado warning. Just to explain to you guys what the difference between a tornado watch and a tornado warning, because we do have both, so you don't really need to be alarmed if you see a tornado watch on the news, because a tornado watch, I like to compare it to making cupcakes. So you just have all of the right ingredients to make them. So you have your flour, your sugar, your butter, your milk. You have all of these things sitting in front of you. But a tornado warning is when you have all of these things mixed together and they're in the oven. So all of the ingredients are combined and you're about to take something out, and boom, there's your tornado. So they changed it a few years ago. Back in 2015, they would warn the entire city, and all of them would go off whenever there was a tornado warning in a part of the city. So now the procedure is only sound the alarms when it's in that certain section. So if you hear the alarms go off and there's inclement weather, then you need to take shelter now. So just make sure you're prepared for the tornadoes. Make sure you have your emergency kit with plenty of food, water, flashlights, because whenever we do get inclement weather around here, the power tends to go out, and sometimes it may take a couple days to get back on. Back when we had the Moore tornado, most of you guys may know about, and the power went out. Every single place around me did not have power, and so I needed to get gas, and I couldn't get gas because there was no power. So we had to drive all the way to the other side of town just to get gas, and that was not easy. when we were driving on E. So that brings me to another point. Make sure your gas tank is always full when there's inclement weather, because you just never know. So right now we're just standing next to a tornado siren. This is what they look like. So you just may want to keep that in mind when you're choosing your housing of where you're going to live, because they do get pretty loud, and if you don't like to be woken up every Saturday at noon, you like to sleep in, then they may not be a good fit for you. So just keep in mind what they look like when you're looking around for housing. That may help. So there's also another point I wanted to bring out, was that we do not have an all clear signal. So if you hear this siren go off, and this is what it sounds like, and you hear it go off again, then that means there's just another warning in place. So you just may want to take shelter, continue to take shelter, and check your weather app or the news and see what's going on, so you will be fine and all safe and dandy. So that brings us to our fourth thing you should know, is the cost of living. If you're gonna buy a house here, it's a pretty good buyer's market. The median prices for housing right now is probably around $150,000, I think, according to Zillow right now. And so on those typical houses, it's gonna be like a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house, depending on obviously where you move to in Oklahoma City is what you're gonna get. And the rent, the mortgage on that's probably gonna range about $1,200 to $1,400 a month. Now for the renters market, if you're coming here and you just want to get an apartment, I can tell you on the lower end, you can find housing for about $450 to about $500 or $550, but that's for like really small, maybe not in the best neighborhoods. And then if you're wanting to get something a little bit better, you're gonna pay around $750 to about $1,250, and that's gonna be for your nicer apartments. Now if you want a luxury apartment, or if you want to live downtown, that's gonna range you from about $1,200 all the way up until about $2,000. So it really depends on what you want to pay is what you're gonna get here in the city. We do have plenty of options available though. Now for utilities, you're typically going to pay for electric, gas, and water. If you live in a house, or if you just live in an apartment, you're going to pay for electric and water. So those are going to range you from about, well, depending on the size of your place, it could range from about $50 to $200 for electric, and then gas maybe about $75 up to about $150, and then for water, depending on how much you use it, it's not that bad, about $30 to $80 a month. So it really just depends on how big of a house you have, how many people are using everything in your house. So the utilities aren't that bad. So this is just the cost of gas right now. That's $2.07 for the 10%, but if you want regular, it's gonna be about $2.39. We usually see prices as low as probably about $1.74, $1.89, and then they can go up to about $2.50 a gallon. So our cost of living for gas is relatively cheap compared to other parts of the country. The typical price for milk over here is about $2.28 for half a gallon, $3.99 for a full gallon. And then if you want like store brand milk, then you can get a gallon for about $3.28 and half a gallon for $1.72. So the milk's not badly priced. Then for eggs, looks like a dozen is about $1.38, and then you can get 2.5 dozens for $3.28, and then they also have this huge 5-dozen box on sale right now for $4.95. I mean, you can't really beat that. So that's the price of eggs right now. So the price of Sara Lee white bread right now is about $1.25. 4 for $5. It's not bad. And then your typical honey wheat's about $2.78, so that's not bad either. And then you can also get Crest brand down here for 2 in a pack for $1.69.
Okay, this brings us to our 5th point on what you need to know when moving to OKC or Oklahoma.
Things to do. So there's plenty of things to do. A lot of people don't think we have a lot to do, but we actually have a ton of things. So everyone knows about the Oklahoma City Thunder. So if you want to catch a game at the Chesapeake, that's definitely something fun to do. We also have a lot of craft fairs, a lot of festivals to support local restaurants and local artists around the city. And then food. Food is a big one here. We have a ton of local restaurants. They're so good, you guys. We're going to talk about a lot of these in our upcoming videos, so stay tuned for that.
You have your like your typical entertainment as far as bowling, you have your arcade games, you have your escape rooms, laser tags, things like that. Like there's is a lot to do.
Yes, and then we also have the OKC Energy. So if you like soccer, that's something else we have. And then we also have baseball as well.
If you are a football fan, I tell you, Oklahoma revolves around OU and OSU, so that's a big thing here as well.
College football is huge, so that's definitely something that you would have to learn to get into if you don't already like it.
But if you don't know what to do, just Google it. There's a lot there.
Or you can just subscribe to our channel.
That too.
And check out what we have to offer, because we're actually going to be doing some series coming up about the different districts that Oklahoma City has. So if you want to see a little bit more of what Oklahoma City has to offer in detail, make sure you hit that like button on this video and then subscribe to our channel so you can see future videos from us.
And don't forget the bell notification so you can get the notifications.
Yes.
Well, this will wrap it up. We really do appreciate you guys watching this video, and we'll see you in our next series.
If you have any comments or questions, please list them down below. We'd be happy to answer them. If you're from out of town, or if this even helped you living in the city, if you just moved here, then let us know. Let us know. Give us a shout out below. And share this video with your friends.